Hello, Connect Groups, and welcome to week number 3 in the subject of sharing your faith. On week number 1, we have been putting together our story. In my case, I had to make several additions because I wanted to be around 3 minutes. It's amazing how much I have to tell. But the 2 key words are keeping me on track. Then we learn about the gospel story. Yes, a very basic one. I'm pretty sure you knew it before the semester started. However, the valuable part is in this study is the idea of putting our story and the gospel story together. We're commanded to make disciples. However, we cannot do it until we start sharing our stories. Thank God we have Connect Groups, a safe environment where we can share how Jesus encountered us. 1 Peter 3:15 has always been in my mind. It says, always being prepared to make a defense to anyone who asks you for a reason for the hope that is in you. Wow! Today we have that story. I have that story. My own story now tells everyone why Jesus is important in my life. He changed me. He gave me a new opportunity. I'm alive, not condemned. I have hope and I will never be alone. That is my story. My testimony is a true defense of the gospel of Jesus. Okay, we have the product. We have the story. We put it together with the story of Jesus. Now what? What is the next step? Well, the next step is to look for opportunities to share it. And that is the engaging part. I'm always in fear to talk to strangers. I think my son inherited that from me. Someone at the door ringing the bell and he will yell, "Stranger danger, stranger danger." I think many people are like us. We want you to share your story, but we don't want that to be a burden in you. That will not be a blessing. It is not a homework. You will not be graded for that. We're not giving prizes to the one that talks to the most people. No, it's not going to happen. We just want you to be able to share your story. That's why we are practicing in a small group. We want you to be ready to share it whenever God provides the opportunity to do it. And that is the key. God providing the opportunity. I remember my dad having that burden in his heart. He wanted his siblings to know Jesus, but my dad didn't know how to approach them. We learned our church back in Bolivia that we needed to share the gospel, but we didn't know anything how to do that. Any tools, any instructions. We didn't know what to do. My dad had the brilliant idea to invite everyone, all his siblings, to my birthday. And as soon as we finished singing happy birthday, I blew the candles and he asked everyone for their attention. He started reading the Bible. It went well. He was brave enough until one of my aunts said, "You know what? This is not for me." She stand up and she left. The awkward silence in the room. My birthday was ruined. And my mom didn't know what to say. "Anybody wants cake?" It didn't go well. But today we want God to open those opportunities. And please don't have that burden. Just ask God to provide those opportunities and He will give it to you. Now your job is to be in the lookout for those divine moments. That will make us aware more of what is going on around us. And that will also make us closer to God. It is a win-win situation. Now, what are the ways to engage in gospel conversations? Here are some that you can put into practice. Number 1, be proactive and pray for opportunities. Psalm 5:2 says, "Give attention to the sound of my cry, my King and my God, for to you do I pray." Pray for opportunities to start a conversation about Jesus with someone. Pray for the person to be saved. Pray for you to have boldness. Pray for the right words to say at the right time. Pray that the Holy Spirit will speak through you. And number 2, keep these conversation starters handy. Put it in your pocket and keep them just in case. Maybe starters like, how can I pray for you? Do you have any spiritual beliefs? Do you mind if I ask you a spiritual question? Has anyone ever told you about Jesus? Do you have a church to attend? May I share my story with you? Those starters will help you to connect whatever they are telling you with your story. And number 3, rely on the Holy Spirit. Romans 1:16 says, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of God for salvation to everyone who believes, to the Jew first and also to the Greek." Don't be ashamed. Be ready to share their story. Ask the Holy Spirit to give you that strength. Luke 12:12 says, "For the Holy Spirit will teach you in that very hour what you ought to say." Pray, keep those starters handy, and be ready to listen to the Holy Spirit. This will help you to start engaging in those conversations. Don't force anything, just be on the lookout for what the Lord is preparing for you. Be ready to share. Pray the Lord, and I pray for you to be that effective person to say the effective word at that particular moment. The Holy Spirit will guide you. Thank you for listening, and please continue the discussion. There are some questions that the leader will ask you to answer. Let's continue engaging in this conversation. God bless you.